Hello and welcome back to Each One Teach One. Instagram, this is a repeat. So sorry. It's so much, y'all. If I had one button and everything would go like bam, I'd be so excited. So until that happens, each one is teaching one. So anyway, welcome to Each One Teach One session. And I want to kind of talk about why it's important. This one means a lot to me because it's me supporting small businesses and me supporting you, me supporting the whole cause of everyone doing whatever they need to do to make sure that we all help each other. I think it's so cool. um, I want to make sure that you can hear me okay. So with that being said, there we go. Good. Okay, I had to put. Again. It was listening to some stuff in my ear, and I'm like, oh my god. But anyway, is that each one teach one is a segment represents small businesses. That I want you on here, and I want you to tell me about what you do. I not only want you to tell me about what you do, but I want you to share with others just about knitting a sweater. All wear with your sweaters. If it's at the bodega, in Manhattan, New York, and you're, basically wanting us to show up at 125 Main Street or whatever the address is, you come on and we can get you, get people to hear about what you're saying, so sharing with them as well. In this segment today, I guess part of me is wanting to share with you some of the things that I feel are important for us to do as one as we try to grow. I mean, some of you may be looking to grow a business or start a business or pursue an endeavor or dream. But the main thing I think that's important is, it's important to write things out and to maybe establish where it is that you're trying to go and what it is that you're trying to do. Because if you are not together in your plan, then of course gains that you want in your process. So that's important first and foremost. However, when it comes down to it, it's one of the things that I pride in is learning how, just what I want myself, and break it down. And Irvine has mentioned several times, you really got to think about what it is that is creating the things for you that block you, that prevent you from doing what you need to do. So that's typically where I start. And he mentioned processes already taken into consideration, but what it does get back to me. So sometimes we think about it and we forget about it, but we maintain our because it's not going to happen over. Nothing worth having. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. So you've got to make sure that you do what it takes to progress in these areas. But one thing that I like to share with you is some of the books and stuff that I have actually read is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now, it's funny, it's like a staple for anybody that wants to become successful or wants to or rich or whatever. Rich dad, poor dad is always is, I drive a lot. Um, because I know some of you know this, but I Uber on the side. As I the first thing is I work in healthcare IT and I've done that for so long. And it's not that I didn't like doing that and I don't want to make that kind of money. It's just that I'm not satisfied making money for somebody else. I want to make Dina's money. I want to be successful in my own right. And, you know, I know that when I'm out here, when I go out to Uber, people don't always take you serious, but in LA, I do pretty good. It's not like I can't sustain myself, and I just have to prepare for certain things and I have to set myself up to succeed. And sometimes, and I don't go without, trust me, once my son was grown and he started making his own money, honey, hey, I didn't have to worry about having him in my pockets, but no, I still got his back no matter what. All of that is to say, come on, slide over. That if you don't have if you don't aspire to have your own, then you constantly be working for other people. And I just feel like I don't want to do that anymore. I've done it for so long. It's time for me to be successful on my own. And I don't care if I have to work for Uber. What the thing about working for Uber is that I can make my own hours, I can make my own money, you know, and I pretty much know how much money I'm gonna make. Now, for me, I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, self discipline. Um, I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I go out at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And in not I don't even say 1 o'clock. Sometimes I'm done by 11 or 12. So whatever, in between those made what I need to make for the day, and then I'll come home and I repeat that anywhere from 5 to 7 days, depends. Sometimes if I'm trying to do certain things, I can get where I need to get, sooner than later. But that isn't even the point. The point is the reason that I do Uber is because I was working job assignments where I was doing pretty well. And I would work on these assignments and I was unhappy all the time. And I was mainly unhappy because people, they would judge me, and it wasn't something it was just they would judge me, and it would cause me, I allowed their judgment of me to lower my vibration. I talk about this all the time, lower my vibration. And in lowering my vibration, I became weak and lacking in confidence. And the type of person that I am, I'm always happy go lucky. So I always try to find the good in people. But I realized that the people that were doing that, so sad to say, they were doing it because they could, A, and B, because they were unhappy. And I wasn't looking at it like they were unhappy because I was thinking there was something wrong with me. But that was what they wanted me to think. So what I ended up doing, and I'll never forget it. I mean, it was a long, 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 long process. But I started just doing things to elevate my spirits, and that I would toggle back and forth because some days I'd be happy and some days I'd be unhappy, but I'd go back and forth and back and forth. Long story short, I finally got to a point, and now we're in 2023, but this process started a while back. um and I got finally to a point where I was like, you know what, I like the money, but I'm not satisfied with how people treat me. And I'm not going to allow anyone to treat me any kind of way, cuz you know what? I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. Nobody can ever say I don't know what I'm doing. They always talk about stuff like me being light skinned, or me, having, my hair a certain way, or me stupid stuff. Like I'm like, worry about your own eyes, your own hair, your own lips, your own like I don't like that just never ever I'm not a jealous person by nature, whether I'm in a relationship with a man or whether I'm in a relationship with my best friend. I'm not jealous. I don't get jealous because I feel comfortable enough in the woman that I am, but I also feel comfortable enough in the space that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that there are other things that people can create for you and make you feel some kind of way, but you are the one person that can really allow that to manifest. So, you know what I'm saying? I believe in building up my mate, when I have one. I also believe in building up my friends or my family members, because if we're strong, united we stand, divided we fall. And so even if that meant that, my mate had to be away for a while and work out of the country or whatever, I'm still going to represent. It's purple again. I'm not sure why it's purple on my screen and it's purple on your screen. I don't get it. But anywho, I like purple. I think it's kind of sexy. Hey. Anyway, but if a person is not here to represent me in any way, for shape, fashion, or form, whether again it's in a relationship or a friendship, then they're not the people for me. So I don't have a problem with that. And again, I'm not jealous. I'm not a jealous person. Um, and I don't embarrass easy, you know. So anyway, but what happened in my scenario was my feelings were hurt, and that's a completely different scenario. But then I was taught and I learned that you can't put feelings in a business environment, because once you do that, then it messes up a lot of things. And meaning feelings meaning, if you don't like me and I don't like you, I allow that to interfere with me being able to do my job. It's not going to interfere. And some people don't like you because you exude confidence, or because they don't think that you have a weakness, or they don't think that you could feel some kind of disconnect in any way. So therefore they just keep messing with you until they can try and make you feel that way. But guess what? You lose. Hey, you lose. Snooze, you lose. So anyway, with all that being said, I'm just happy that I feel good about myself. But I've said this before and I'll say it again, that meditation is important. And I don't know, when I say I'm not sure, think that I'm or like what you think meditation is. Meditation is where you take 15 to 20 minutes. And I say 20 starting off because a lot of times it's going to take you a minute to get into this zone that I'm talking about. But when you meditate, you basically are able to quiet your mind. There are lots of videos that you can find online that will help guide you into a meditative state. And the reason you want to get into this meditative state is just to quiet your mind. It's not like anybody's taking over your mind. You don't even have to listen to anything while you're meditating, but it's important that it's quiet, and like you'll hear stuff like a car honking or a bird chirping, or maybe you have an itch on your nose. Meditation, when you're meditating, you're supposed to really focus on maybe the fan blowing, or something in the room, or a dripping sound, something that keeps you focused so that you don't take your mind off of the meditative state, so that you can actually quiet your mind, because the purpose of meditating is to quiet your mind so that it resets. And the best time to do this is when you wake up. A lot of times when you wake up, you have to use the bathroom. So if you have to go use the bathroom, you come back and you sit on the edge of your bed with your feet on the ground. I always sit with my palms of my hands up, and I just sit there and I close my eyes, and I just I put my timer on my phone. I put set it for 20 minutes, and I just, me personally, I visualize myself, and I don't know why, but like I'm on the back of an airplane and I have on this scarf, and the scarf is attached to the fin back tail of the airplane, and it's just pulling me, and I'm just floating in the air behind the airplane, and my little scarf, the other side of it's blowing, and I have on a, I don't know if it's a nightgown because I'm just getting out of bed because I never paid attention, but it is like a winter scarf. You know how you have it around your neck. And I just picture myself laying back and I'm just flying, meditatively, behind the airplane. But as I am meditating, while I'm meditating and sitting on my bed, it is, my body, you can begin to move a little bit, and it is said or believed, by on a medical level, that your body is moving because these are nerves that are inside of your body that are kind of reactive, and they're basically reacting because you're so relaxed. There's belief that when your body is in a receiving state, meditate, you're quiet, you're getting to a place that's allowing you to receive information. And it could be information about how to handle something, how you're going to something. A lot of people ask for money to pay their bills, to do this, that. That could be more in a sense of manifesting something in a way or whatever. But other people don't believe in it at all. They just believe you got to go out and work hard. Now, with that being said, the reason I like to meditate is because it has really given me a foundation s- of a restart. Um, I'm a lot more relaxed. I'm sorry, my throat is so. I apologize. It gets so dry here, and it gets very dry here. But I just look at it as a time of relaxation and an understanding for myself so that I can become in oneness with myself. Um, when I go out and drive in the LA traffic, me kind of like connecting with myself helps me just very, and I've noticed in because I have made sure that I am relaxing so that I am not reactive to things that can make you take you out of control, you know? And, on a spiritual level, there's some fruitages of the spirit. And in being using those fruitages of the spirit, those things keep you practicing long suffering, kindness, love, peace, righteousness, all these wonderful things. And so, what I find is when I meditate, it restores those qualities that are biblical. So, even if you are speaking from a biblical sense and you are trying to make heads or tails of meditation and what it does for you, then you can liken it to a biblical sense as well. But meditation is highly recommended if you are really trying to find yourself and get in touch with yourself. We some violence that happened, at Yo Gotti's restaurant in Tennessee. And in those scenarios, if people meditated more, then they would find themselves walking away from scenarios, you know, where where you just looking for a fight, you know. So, I mean, take it For what it's worth, what you feel resonates with you, you're going to utilize to the fullest. And if you don't feel it doesn't resonate with you, keep living the way you living. But you know what I'm saying? You got to evaluate for yourself what's working and what's not working. If you got a mean spirit, and you know you do, if you have an attitude because somebody looks better than you, dresses better than you, makes you feel that they think they cuter than you when they really ain't even thinking about you, then that's something you got to evaluate. What makes you feel like you're not good enough? And you got to break that all the way down. You got to break that shit all the way down, and you got to be real and keep it real with yourself. But that concludes our Each One Teach One. And I just want to give you a little bit of me, hi, for today. But now we're going to finish with Rep Your City. Can you guess what we're going to talk about next? Or what city we're going to talk about? I'll be right back. Thank you guys.